that resonate with their personal identity, we can say. Okay, so broadly speaking, lifestyle is used to segment the marketplace because it provides the broad everyday view of consumers lifestyle segmentations, so that a marketer can generate identifiable whole persons rather than isolated fragments. Like a useful application of the lifestyle concepts, it relates to consumers shopping orientation, and different customers approach shopping in very different ways. Say we usually see some in metros and all, people they prefer online shopping and all. Okay, so that is their lifestyle. Now next we'll look into what a consumer demographic is. Okay, demographics, we know that it is a statistical data related to age, gender, their marital status, educational status, occupation, income, disposable income, okay, family size, family life cycle, geographic location, and so on. Okay, in marketing, consumer demographics we have broadly classified, and which includes data related to basic information, location, purchase intent, then lifestyle information, buyer type, okay, like this. So demographic, it refers to socio-economic characters of a population that business use to identify the product preferences and their purchasing behaviors of customers. Okay, so marketers they should understand their customers demographics, so that they can offer some personalized relevant content, because they know that their customers interests are this, and they can anticipate their future needs also. Okay, next we'll move to psychographic segmentation, right? So when a segment is based on personality or lifestyle characteristics, then we call it as a psychographic segmentation. It involves like a profiling a market segment based on some set of characteristics, like personality traits, their lifestyles, and values. Okay, so most students are familiar with market segmentation as it relates to geographic. This northern people, southern people, and like that geographical segmentations. They know. See, for example, northern railways, southern railways, eastern railways, northeast railways, like that. That is geographic. Okay, and then they knew the demographic also. Based on age, based on education level, based on income, based on family status, right? That is okay. But whereas psychographic segmentation, it is the process of creating clusters of customers who share similar characteristics, and then we'll group them together. Okay, these clusters they'll again form some subsets. Okay, based on their social class, based on their lifestyle, based on their interest, based on their values, based on their personality, based on their social status, and based on religion. Okay, so these psychographic segmentation, it examines consumers in this context, and apart from that, in the context of their motivation. Okay, in the context of their values, their interests, their passions, their lifestyles, okay, their lifestyle choices, okay, and even the kind of media they see, they consume. Okay, so one of the most widely used system to classify people based on this psychographics is we call it as VALS, VALS, all capital letters. V stands for values, A for attitudes, and LS is for lifestyles. Okay, this framework, VALS framework, based on that psychographic segmentation is done. So using these VALS to combine this psychographics with the demographic information, such as no their marital status, their educational level, and their income level. They'll just provide a very good understanding of consumers. Okay. Next is we have another lifestyle segmentation. We call it as AIO, all in caps, capital letters. AIO. A stands for activities. I stands for inventory, and then I stands for interest, and O for opinion. So AIO, activities, interest, and opinion. So this is a widely used tool for especially a lifestyle segmentation. What it does is it measures people's activities in terms of some questions, some 3 or 4 questions which we have to answer. One is how they spend their time. Okay, how the consumer is spending their time in engaging activities, whether it is shopping in the retail shops or online. How they are engaging in some kind of activities. That is the first question. Second one is what is the most interest to them in their immediate surroundings. Okay, what they are looking for, more interest they show in and around their surroundings. Okay, and then third one is their opinion and views about themselves and the world around them. So putting these 3 areas together, we just come into broad categories of activities, then interest, and then opinion. So 3 columns we have to write what they are engaged in activities and what their interests are and what are their opinions. Okay, so AIO. So activities, what they'll tell us, especially the marketer, it tells that about the work he does or the hobbies he has and in what hobbies he is engaged and what is entertaining to him, right? That activity shows us. Okay, then we can know the pulse of the consumer there. Then interest. That interest column shows that what consumer likes, whether he's fond of food or technology or tech savvy, or does he like to travel most, or he's good at sports, and then sports, which sport, right? So all that interest column will show us about his interest. Okay, then opinions. Now what opinions will tell the marketer? It tells that how the consumer thinks of himself, thinks about the surroundings or external environment around him, whether it is political or social or environmental and other issues, big public domain, that opinions what he draws from that external environment. Okay, so this I'll just give you some examples so that you can understand it in a better way. So activities, suppose if we have done some survey and some activities we have put in one column, interest in one column, and then opinions in one column, like activities, work, hobbies, social events or vacations, entertainment, club membership, community or shopping or sports. Okay, interest, whether he's interested in family, home, job or community or recreation, fashion, food, media, or his successes or achievements, okay, outcomes of his work. Okay, that is all interest. Then opinion about himself, about social issues, about the politics or business or economics or education, products or future or culture. Okay, so that is all that is AIO inventories. In as they are called, reveal, what is AIO inventories will do is such table what I have told, that is all inventories are stock of, okay, stock of activities, interests and opinions. They give us a vast amount of information, especially concerning to consumer attitudes towards product categories or brands, or within the product categories, user and non-user personality traits, and user and non-user lifestyles. So this is what AIO inventories would tell us. Then we'll move to values and lifestyle, psychographic lifestyle segmentation. That is VALS, as I told you before, VALS. it is no a way of viewing people on their basis of no attitudes, their needs, wants, beliefs, and demographics. Okay, so this is actually by SRI International. It has been created and long back in 1978, and it's an attempt made by that international academy, we can say, about people's personality through their behaviors amidst the changing values and lifestyles in the 1970s. Okay, and then based on the trends of the consumer behavior in the marketplace, economically, politically, socially, and humanly, right? So they analyzed again to predict consumer preferences and choices in 2004, again by Skiffman. Okay, so he had developed a current VALS system, VLS system, which gives a link between personality traits and the purchase behavior. Okay, so VALS specifically defines consumer segments based on their personality traits that affect behavior in the marketplace. Okay, the original VAL system, one, we say that it tries to improve themselves during their lifetime. Okay, this goal in turn strongly influence their value system, and mainly, and many of the decisions they take, they make each day, right? So we have some other subgroups in this. We have survivors, we have sustainers, we have belongers, then emulators, and then achievers. Okay, then a phase like I, am, and me. Okay, then experimental, socially conscious, and integrated. Okay, this VALS one topology, based on majorly four kinds. One is the need driven. Second one is outer directed, and excuse me. Third is inner directed, and then we have combined outer directed and inner directed. Okay, so when we just look into need driven, we have survival lifestyle and sustainer lifestyle. Need driven, see, Maslow's need driven also is there. No, see, like that, the need driven are people, they are so limited in resources, and that their lives are driven more by need than by choice. Okay, they tend to be distrustful, they tend to be dependent, they are unplanned. Okay, many of the lives, they are unhappy. They just focus on the immediate specifics of them, especially the day they are living, right? So again, this need driven is divided into survivors, and then the one is sustainer, right? Survivors, these are the people that are most disadvantaged in the society because of their extreme poverty. Okay, low education, old age, and limited access to the channels of upward mobility. Okay, they are people oriented to tradition but marked by unhappiness. Then we have sustainers. In a need driven only I'm talking about. So we have sustainers. These are the people, they are better off when compared to the survivors. They have not given up their hope. They live with some hope. Their values are very different from those of survivors. They are somewhat advanced, and they won't get depressed. They have some hope to survive. But what they do, they set they see as repressing them, who sustainers, from survivors. Okay, and they have developed a streetwise determination to move forward, to go ahead. Okay, because they have some hope. So these are need driven. Then we have outer directed people. These outer directed people, what they are the people who are real or sometimes fancied from others. They are They have a shared goals. They are having an array of, or we can say a sum of some personal values, options for more complex and diverse than those available to the need driven. Okay, this vals typology, they have again no four types, like we have belongers, we have emulators, and we have achievers. Say belongers, they tend to be conservative, and they are very conventional type, nostalgic, sentimental, puritanical, or conforming. Okay, that main key drive for them is to fit in, to belong, and not to stand out. These people who know what is right, and they adhere to some rules and regulations. They are not much interested in sophisticated activities or intellectual affairs. Whereas emulators, they live in a wholly different world when compared to belongers. Okay, they try to burst into upper levels of the system to make it big. They are very ambitious and always look for the upward movement, the upward mobility, and they are very status conscious. Okay, like macho type, and very competitive. Then we have achievers. Now these, they are very professional, government competent, self-reliant, and efficient people. They are, we can call them as leaders in business. Okay, they are materialistic, hardworking, oriented to fame and success. So achievers, they are supporters of technology, and they are open to progress. They resist radical changes. This is outer directed. Next, we have inner directed people who tend to be self-expressive, individualistic, person-centered, impassioned, diverse, and complex. Okay, they conduct their lives primarily in accord with inner values. And this again, inner directed people, we have again three to four categories. One is I am and me. I am and me. Okay, it's a short-lived stage. Transition from outer to inner direction. Okay, outer to inner direction. These values from both stages are much in evidence. These people, they are very young, and they are individualistic to the point of being narcissistic and exhibitionistic. Okay, that is full of confusions, full of emotions. They do not understand. They often themselves better by their actions than their statements. In other words, they're very dramatic. They are impulsive. Okay, no, they show up in great inventiveness, willingness to try. That is it. Okay. Then we have experientials. That is about 6% of the population. They focus more on like social and human issues. They want direct experience and vigorous involvement. Life is a light show at one moment and an intense sometimes. Okay, they are attracted to exotic such as Oriental religions, to the strange like parapsychology, or organic gardening and home baking, like that. Okay, so these people are probably the more artistic and most passionately involved with others. Yeah. Then we have societal conscious people. They are the people who have extended their inner direction beyond self and others to the society as a whole. The society conscious seeks them to live very frugal lives that conserve, protect, and heal, and inner growth. This remains a crucial part of their life. Okay. Then we have the last one is integrated, both. That is outer and inner. Outer direction with the sensitivity of inner direction. They are fully matured people, mature in a psychological sense, able to see the two sides, okay, sides of any issue, able to lead if necessary, and willing to take a secondary role if they feel appropriate. Okay, so this is what is the old valve system. Again, we have a new valve system, This is developed in 1970s, and then further in 1978 it is expanded by Mitchell at SRI International. Now these they have classified into three general consumer groups with three different ways of buying: principle oriented, status oriented, and action oriented. Okay, principle oriented consumers, status oriented consumers, action oriented consumers. We'll move to principles oriented groups. Thinkers and believers. These are the two kind of consumers who are principles oriented. Now thinkers, they are very high resource group, okay, of those who are motivated by ideals, morals, principles. They are mature, responsible, well educated, and professionals. Okay, and their leisure time activities, they center on their homes, but they are well informed about what goes in the world, and they are often open to new ideas and social change. So they're thinkers. Thinkers, the name itself is saying. Then we have believers. Believers, they are low resource group of those who are motivated by ideals. Okay, they are conservative and they are predictable consumers. Okay, for example, some they prefer American products and well-established brands. We can easily identify they are the believers of that brand. Their lives are centered on family or church or religious places, then community and the nation, and they have very modest incomes. They come under principle oriented groups. Then we have status oriented groups, in which we have achievers and strivers. See, achievers, these are the consumers of high resource person, like principle oriented, okay, who are motivated by achievement. They are successful, work-oriented people who get their satisfaction from their jobs, from their families. Okay. Now, next is strivers. These are the consumers who are low resource group. Okay, who are motivated by achievements, but they have values very similar to achievers, but no, they have a very few economic, social, and psychological resources. So style is extremely important to them, and they strive to emulate people they admire. They have some role models, we can say. Okay, right. Next we have action oriented groups. See, name itself is saying action oriented consumers. In this again we have three. One is experiencers, then makers, and the survivors. Experiences, they are again high resource group. They are motivated not by achievement but self-expression. They are the youngest of all segments, right? Usually 25 years of age consumers. Okay, they have lot of energy, which they pour into physical acts, exercises, gym, and other things, and social activities. Okay, and they spend heavily on clothing, fast foods, music, and other youthful favorites, we can say. And the emphasis would always be on new products. So these experience, so marketers they have to come if they are their market. They are marketing for the experiences and all. They have to come with new products and new services. Okay. Then we have makers. So makers, again, they are also low resource group, and of those who are motivated again by self-expression, because we have put them in action-oriented groups. So self-expression, they get motivated by self-expression. These people are very practical in nature, and they have value for self-sufficiency, and they are mostly focused on family, work, and physical recreation, and they have little interest in the outer world, okay, broader world. As consumers, they appreciate practical and functional products. Okay, they see a product and they see its work, how it is functioning and all. They love that. If that satisfies their need, they are happy. They are the makers. Then we have survivors. They are of lowest income, and some of the consumers, they get motivated by their self-expression or self-orientation. These are the actualizers, we can say. They have highest incomes and highest high self-esteem and abundant resources, because they have large interest and openness, and they are directed towards finer things in life, finer things in life. Okay. Next, now we move to characteristics of different world, that is two and two type, that is no ideals, achievement, and expressions. In that, no, we can just divide into different columns, and all we can note down. As a marketer, we have to have a chart or a table, and that table we have to draw innovators, thinkers, believers, achievers, then strivers, experiencers, makers, and survivors. So like that, if you know mostly how confident they are, whether they are self-motivated, like that, if we just make a table of it, then a marketer can know the pulse of the consumers. Then next topic, lifestyles. We'll see lifestyle profiles of Indian consumers. Okay, because we have to market products in our country, right? Then we can think of a global products and all. So as we know that we have reached on the top in the population census, right? And we know that largest city is Mumbai, and more than 12.5 million population. Then that is no, the, we have to know the geography, the demographics of India and all. There are many cities with the population more than this 11 million, and people live in urban areas, but we have rural areas also. They are still in developing, yeah, in a developing stages, right? So we know it's a very vast country, and we have a great diversity of religions, languages, literacy levels, traditions, social customs, economic status, and all. Okay. Based on this, we have several types of Indian consumers. All right. See, we have classified this into Indian metropolitan consumers. Okay. And in that, we have 6 behavioral categories, right? Like well settled, strugglers, enjoyers, then conservatives, self-concerned, and realist. Okay, see, well settled, strugglers, enjoyers, conservatives, self-concerned, and realist. These segmentation have been profiled in terms of product ownership. Okay, product ownership, then activities and interest, and then financial investment avenues and media habits. So based on this, we have 6 categories. Okay, based on product ownership, activities, interest, financial investment avenues, and media habits. We have well settled, strugglers, enjoyers, conservators, self-concerned, and realistic. See, enjoyers, no, above age around 36 years, and their monthly income would be around 23,000 to 500, low job change, and strong to moderate opinion. Okay. Self-concerned, 33 years of age, 21,000, and highest job change, and not keen on expressing opinion. Okay. Realist consumers, they are around 35 years of age, high job change, and widely ranging opinions. Strugglers around 37 years, and their monthly income would be around 14,000 to 15,000. Okay, and there are moderate job changes and moderate opinion about the whole world. Conservative around 44 to 44 and above, those age group, and their monthly income around 14,000, and they are low to job change, very conservative in nature. They are stick to the job they are doing since the beginning. Okay, so this is all about no Indian consumers. Then when we see some of the characteristics of all these things or activities and interests of Indian consumers. See, urban consumers, they show a market disinterest in taking part in any kind of physical activity, especially in sports and games. Walking is only the physical activity they do, and they are self-centered. Okay, and they are highly of activities which are significantly related to their health. Okay, all right. Then we have ownership of consumer durables, color television, refrigerator, gas stove, water filter, microwave. No, these consumer durables. These are the very common factors we find in the household of this segment. Okay. Then when we move to this enjoyer segment, the maximum durable ownership, largest exercising and answering machines, electronic cooking ranges, this we find. Okay, DVD players. Okay, next, what are the trends? No, important consumer trends. Attitudes in India, they are changing. You can see a lot of things happening, and the change we see everywhere because of rising incomes, exposure to new ideas and technologies. Right, we see that Indian consumers are changing. Increasingly, what the people are doing, they are spending more on experiences, customized products, and time-saving services. Okay, see, BCG, Boston Consulting Group Center of Customer Insight, they have done a survey in biggest metro areas, and they have divided into tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 cities to understand consumer trends, and they have identified this. One is information centered shopping. So people in India, they seek information and then they do shopping. One category. Then second category is the shopping to stay trendy. Okay, they themselves want to be very the modern type, like so trendy. Then third is adoption of time-saving products and services. And fourth is a full-on embrace of health and wellness. They are very health conscious. Then growing interest in customized products. This is a fifth category. Sixth is rise of female decision maker. These are the things changing, trends changing. We will look one after the other. One is information centered shopping. See, 85% of consumers, this is a survey by BCG, okay? 85% of consumers, they check at least two data points, okay? One is price and discounts. Other than this, again, they look for some other points, right? When they are buying something. And roughly, 50% of 50% of consumers, they do some sort of online research. Okay, people look for the product reviews, manufacture. Even when we go to a movie, also we'll first see the review, right? Then likewise, we are seeking information about that movie, right? So we are information centered shopping. We see product reviews, manufacturing and expiry dates, then how a product is compared with alternatives in terms of its characteristics or features. Okay, that is first. That is the changing trend happening in India. Then I said, no, shopping to stay trendy. See, our desire, we feel that we should sync with the latest trends, what is happening. No? Then interestingly, we'll be buying, or that product will drive for us to purchase it, right? See, more than 60% of respondents, they purchase something because it is trendy and they felt like upgrading, not necessarily because they need to be a replacement, okay, but they just want to be trendy. For instance, 58% of people, they buy new gadgets such as tablets, laptop computers, right? And they want all four wheelers. No, now rooftop is a trend happening, right? Then SUEs was once, some few months back and all, right? Purchase the products just to stay updated with the latest market. So that is a trend in India. Then third category is adoption of time-saving products and services. See, 50% of, no, around 57, we can say 57% of urban Indians, they pay for a product or service that saves time. Okay, they do this even if they are buying cost more than the alternative or causes them to underuse an existing resource. See, a car owning business, for instance, or for example, said that he commutes to work in a taxi so he can catch up with phone calls instead of having to fight with traffic and then look for a parking space. See, so that's why Ola, Uber, they have come into existence. Even the owners, the co-founders of Ola and Uber, they are saying that we will stop the purchase of car. To that extent, we'll provide services. So their vision is like that. Okay. So that is time-saving products. They see that is they hire a taxi and go. Okay. And they don't want to look for a parking space as well. And the fourth category is a full-on embrace of health and wellness. And so health conscious, many people have increased. We see people walking, jogging all around us. About 57% of consumers spend more on health products and wellness products. And they regularly go for health checkups. They take gym memberships and they always consult dietitians, right? And they look to spend on healthier food. Okay, so that is the trend. Then the other trend we find in India is growing interest in customized products. See, mass produced offerings have long dominated the Indian market, but now in certain categories we have a belief that what one buys should reflect one's individual preferences, individual needs, even if one has to pay extra for that difference. Okay, so customizations is very common, especially in women apparels, all right, and fabric swatches, designs, colors, beyond fit or basic alterations, even in men's apparel, right? They want requests for custom features, especially in two-wheelers and four-wheeler vehicles, right? So customized. Then we have the next, sixth trend which we see in India is the rise of the female decision maker. Yes, thanks to the women empowerment schemes all over in everywhere in organizations, in colleges and all, that even in the family unit, the decision to be taken for any product purchase, they are including even women also. Okay, so the rise of female decision maker. Now they have a say in purchase decisions. 51% of Indian women, they make ultimate decision about their family's leisure travel plans. Now that is yes, but real travel plans, there women is given preference in taking the decision, and women they shop differently when we compare to men. That is everybody knows. Yes. For example, when you're shopping for gadgets, men will look for a popular brand which they have researched online. But when we see a woman doing the same thing, they'll visit multiple stores and they take time to hear what store associates have to say with that. Okay, then they'll go for it. Okay, then the seventh trend we are finding in Indian consumers, they are a preference for Indian brands over international ones. Yeah, thanks to Make in India concept, right? Yeah, we are preferring Indian brands now. So it's not an accident, right? That in India, retail stores, locally produced products have prominent shelf positions. 50% of Indian consumers will bypass international brands in favor of Indian brand in at least one category. Okay, the trend is strongest in food. including staple food and packaged beverages, right? Personal and home care products, then some kind of apparels also. They just prefer Indian brands. Okay. Then we have the trend what we see in India is the valuing experience over products. See, about 77% of the customers, they paid off for 3 or more different types of experience last year. Travel was the most common paid experience and entertainment, including concerts, play, or movies. Okay. The increased household income allows them to pay for some experiences, travel plans, movies, concerts, no, or some pleasure trips. Then otherwise, no, they want to put some finances in some products like jewelry or no high cost mobile phones, apparels, and home furnishings. Right. This is what. Next, we have no exclusivity adds value. The traditional notion of best price and of good quality at a reasonable price, they continue to hold. Say, no, that nature will not go anywhere in any consumer, right? They look for reasonable price. Indian consumers across the majority of categories that we see. In certain categories, however, we have mm, 37% of urban people, they exclusively, especially the eyewear, apparel, and some electronic items, they just see that whether it adds value, okay, uh, to the amount they have spent, that they look, okay, especially that should that should increase their social status, right? Then we have renting over buying. So as I told you, no, that person was doesn't want to look for a parking space and he want to attend all the calls via his office. He just has hired a taxi, isn't it? Instead of buying, people are going for renting or leasing like that. Okay. So with list of products that are traditionally purchased, kitchen appliances or clothes or furniture, 17% of consumers, what they are doing, they are renting. Okay, they have rented rather than purchased, right? Uh, this is a function of supply because India has a number of high-profile startups, and that offers rentals in big cities. See, even I heard that too. When you want to go to a high-class party and all, you can get a dress also for rented, so that your social status does not affect. Okay, so they are renting rather than buying. If it is a 50,000 costume, which we cannot put that much amount into it, what we do is we just hire it. We rent it, no? We take it on rent for around 10,000 or so, and then our status also would not decrease, right? So this is happening. So in other words, the culture and subculture, they are varying from region to region. The lifestyles are changing. The North Indian culture is vastly different from South Indian culture. Social marketing also, no, it varies from region to region and place to place. So therefore, marketing companies, they cannot make a composite single marketing program and strategy for Indian consumers, right? But we'll have to make changes in the marketing program depending upon consumer characteristics, especially based on geographical and religious concentration. This is very important because no, that Holi and Eid ad has a controversy of a particular washing powder, right? So that care must be taken by the marketer. Okay, so educated Indians, they have learned to adopt to Western methods of monitoring one's own work and completing it on schedule, right? So there will things have changed. There's a lot of changes, and we can. It's quite evident also when we see the food habits of Indians now, the fashion, the dress material, the lifestyle, right? Apart from the apart from these, their attitude and behavioral differences are also changing a lot. Okay. See, another category of classifying Indian consumers, there are three types, that is wealthy class, rather four we can say: wealthy class, middle class, lower middle class, and then poor class. Okay. Wealthy class, these are the people who believe in showing new acquired richness. Okay, new acquired richness they want to show off. They buy high priced cars, houses, get best education for their children, and they get treatment in the best hospitals, and that this they want to show off. Okay, wealthy class. Right. Then we have another category, that is middle class. They are next to this wealthier people in economic status, and they are mostly junior executives. We can call them this white collar workers. Okay, and then these people, they have great ambition. They have great ambition to move up. Okay, and they are one among the biggest classes in the society. They want respect. They want respect in the society, and therefore in certain occasions they spend more than their capacity. They take care of their children, do well in competitive admission tests of medical, engineering, management, and other professional courses like cost and management and company secretary and all. Okay, the middle class people, they are emerged out of several socio-economic developments. During this year, we have found so many developments. Their expenditure on non-food items is continuously on the increase. Premium brands they take, costly fabrics, ready-made furniture, fashion and cosmetics. These are the regular products they buy. TVs, electronic household appliances, refrigerators, grinders, mixers, washing machines, dishwashers, vacuum cleaners, all these things. Okay. Then we have the poor class, that is we call it BPL class, that is below the poverty line people. They are large in number, still very bad to say that we have this category of people still in India. So as a citizen, we have to help them, right? Okay. They are consumers of unbrand products. Okay, they are emerging as consumers. Okay, marketer cannot neglect this group also. They are emerging as consumers. But what of low brand products? Okay, the availability of credit facility is adding some benefit to them. They are tempting, in other words, credit cards are tempting this category of people to buy little or some low brand, or at least little known brand and all. Okay, of reasonable price. His desire to possess more and more material, it confirms him, we can say comforts him through this credit facility, right? Okay, this is the other category of Indian consumers. Then we'll move to another category, another topic of interest in consumer behavior and marketing research is organizational buying behavior. So till now we were thinking about an individual as a consumer. Now we will move to organizational buying behavior. Because we find some companies buying raw materials, we have colleges buying books and stationery in bulk, right? So organization also buys things. So how the behavior would be organization uh, of organizations, right? Okay, organizations which supply products and services to consumer markets themselves need some goods and services, okay, to run their business, isn't it? So these organizations, these producers, these manufacturers, or these mining companies, or logistic companies, or resellers, or we can say even government buys something. No? So these are the organizations. They also make up a vast marketing organizations. Now, vast marketing organizations, we could say buying raw materials, components, tools, maintenance products and services, right? Plant and machinery, other related equipment, labor, and then services. Okay. So some organizations they sell exclusively to other organizations and never come into contact with consumers. Okay. So these organizations are known as business marketers, organizational marketer, or industrial marketer. Okay. Now, from the buying point of view, we call them as organization. So hope you have understood here. These are the organizations. So we call them, from buying point of view, that they are organizational buyers. Now, when there are buyers, definitely buying would be there. No, organizational buying is the decision-making process by which formal organization establish the need for purchase products and services, and they identify, then they evaluate and choose among alternative brands and suppliers. Okay, so organizations buying, it should be in continuance with the organizational objectives, such as to manufacture and deliver goods and services to members, customers, or the communities. Okay, so we can say that this is entirely different. No? Organizational buying process is entirely different from consumer buying process. Okay, while buying decisions are made relatively easily and quickly by individual customers. See, if I want to buy anything for my son and all, I can take a decision very quickly. Okay, very fast, and I can provide that product to my son at any point of time, right? But whereas organizational buying, it involves some thorough analysis, some deep analysis. Okay, which product have to buy, from whom we have to buy, because it ranges, from highly complex machinery to some small components. If it is a needle or a spare part or anything, from highly complex machinery to some small components, they have to decide. So therefore, decision-making process is very complex here in organizational buying process. Okay, because organizational buyers, they make buying decision for their organizations and they purchase products and services professionally. Okay, so this type of buyer tends to be more knowledgeable than the normal consumer. Okay, so see, an organization, they buy a variety of products, we know that, and they want a variety of services, which may include like raw material, steel, aluminium, iron ore, or okay, any raw material. Then major capital items like plant and machinery, your land. Okay, then minor capital items are also there, like pumps, valves, and all. Then we have fabricated components and parts, or we can say auto assembled fabricated components like castings, forgings, small parts of iron or rubber or plastic like that. Then we have processed chemicals, fluxes for melting, powders, chemicals, even consumables also they need, like lubricating oil, electrodes, fuel, gas, right? Then we have they buy office equipment also, paper, copier, typewriters and all. Then services, they need travel services, touring services, transporting services, logistics and all, right? So these are the items the organization buy. Okay. Similarly, government organizations also buy. See, government organizations such as ministry, departments, Ministry of Education, Ministry of Railways, then Railway Department, Postal Department, like that. Then divisions like Revenue Division and all, Agricultural Division, and they all buy goods and services for their use. Okay, hospitals, schools, campuses, financial institutions, They also need necessary materials, fuel, various supplies, construction materials, and other goods and services, right? Then wholesalers, retailers, distributors, resellers are also there. Retailers are also there. They also buy goods and products, no goods and services to produce finished goods, right? So these are all organizational buying, and the buying behavior of organization, we call it as organizational buying behavior. Okay. So with this topic, we'll stop here. And if you have any queries, if you have on the chat box. Yeah, then tomorrow we'll look after characteristics of organizational behavior. So you just read once, you'll have an idea. Then we'll see how the individual buyers and the organizational buyers they differ. Okay. With this, we'll end today's class. Thank you for your patience hearing.